What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Oh, baby. It's an exciting one, folks. We all know I got the Quintus if you watch my recent video. Well, guess what? Now I've built him out, and we're going to test him and see how he does. So, obviously, we know getting Quintus, not the easiest thing to do. As you can see here, you got to be in the 4,000, range on live arena. It took me quite some time, a lot of wins, a lot of defeats. It was a good stream, by the way. I'm recording this after I did a live stream, and kudos to Doc Moreau. I was beating his ass earlier, and then he came back and got me pretty good. But it took me a long time to get this champion, and so the expectations are very high as to how good he's going to be. Obviously, it takes you getting to 4,000 points, you can see here, but we finally got him. I've built him out, and so I want to run through kind of my first impressions of him. I built him out super strong as well with some of my absolute best gear. And then we're going to take him into Plat Arena and we're going to see how he does. Now, spoiler alert, I've done some fights with him with a little bit less powerful gear, and I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't impressed. And we'll get to why briefly. But first, let's look at his kit and let's look at kind of what makes him, on paper, a potentially really good nuker. So first and foremost, looking at the skills, his A1 attacks one enemy, places an extra hit if the target has no buffs. If this attack is critical, repeats the attack once. So this is very similar to a Fushan, to a Georgid. He has the ability to essentially just drill someone with the A1. This is a great A1. It can do a lot of damage. So really, really, really like this A1, and it hits hard. You can also see, obviously, damage based on attack. He is an attack-based nuker. So then we get to the A2. Attacks one enemy, removes all buffs, then places a 60% decreased defense debuff on the target for 2 turns before attacking. These effects cannot be resisted or blocked. I'm going to read that again. This buff strip, removing all buffs and placing the decreased defense, cannot be resisted or blocked. This is very important. You're going to see later why this is a major, major point of contention, and one of the things about Quintus that, in my opinion, absolutely must be fixed. We'll get to it briefly. Damage inflicted by the skill cannot be decreased by enemy passive skills, can't be increased by your own passive skills. So that's similar to Karuto Fox Hunter, and that certain masteries aren't going to increase his damage, or his damage not going to be decreased by stuff like Duchess. Here's another cool thing. Resets the cooldown of the crowd favorite skill if this attack kills an enemy. Well, the crowd favorite skill is his A3. Attacks all enemies. Places a 50% increased attack buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on this champion for 3 turns before attacking. That's awesome. He's buffing himself with 2 really powerful buffs. Again, on paper, this sounds amazing. Like, holy smokes, this champion has to hit like a freaking just beast. Resets the cooldown of the strip away skill if this attack kills an enemy. So he has the ability to reset both his A3 and his A2 through killing enemies. Again, just sounds like an absolutely bonkers skill kit, and one of the reasons why I push so hard to get him in live arena, right? Now let's look at the passive. Percussion. Each of this champion's skills deals additional pure damage. That means damage that is essentially, it's like Baron's, former A3. It's just pure damage. It ain't going to be reduced. Not affected by anything. The amount of pure damage dealt is equal to 10% of the target's max HP for each buff on them. The additional pure damage dealt will ignore shield buffs. So this pure damage is going through shields. Sounds freaking phenomenal, right? And then he's got an attack aura here for arena battles, and it's a big one, 35%. Soul Reap is what I've got on him, but it's only level 1, so it's not boosting his attack or his HP or crit damage. So that's his kit. On paper, one of the most amazing sounding kits in the entire game, and something that had me incredibly hyped to take him in the arena. Let's take a look at how I've built him here, okay? We've got him in Savage. We've got him in a broken speed and lethal set, because this is the best gear, literally the best gear that I have for him. I used the optimizer. I didn't free build him. You can take a look here. We got a quad crit rate on the weapon. Nasty, nasty piece. We've got a great helm Would have loved to have gotten a double attack. There's no crit rate here, but it did ascend attack. We've got an awesome shield with speed, crit rate, crit damage. And then check out this glove. Oh, baby. Triple crit damage on top of crit damage and attack percentage. Just disgusting. The chest is only a rare lethal, but it's one of the few chest pieces I have that's attack percentage that actually ascended with attack percentage. So this could be improved upon for sure. But again, I've had really bad luck with chest pieces ascending attack percentage. And then finally the boots, attack percentage, speed, crit rate, just all around some of my best overall gear on this champion right now. Because I really wanted to give no excuses for his performance in Arena when we take him in there. We can look at the accessories here. Again, attack percentage, the best I have. Wish I had a triple roll, but I don't. We got crit damage with attack. Could ascend this more. And then we've got a one. This is hilarious, but this is literally the best Banner Lords piece I have for banners. That's how unlucky I've been with my gear. So he's built pretty strong. Let's take a look at the overall stats. Over 7K offense, over 7K attack, 209 speed, 300% crit damage. And again, this is a baseline Quintus with no ascension that actually affects those stats. That's baseline and nothing else. So that's pretty damn strong. So let's take him in Arena, and I'm going to explain why, so far, for me, he has been one of the most disappointing champions in the game. And I hate to say that, but it's the honest truth. And what it comes down to is, it comes down to that A2, which we're going to look at shortly. I'm just going to bring him right into Arena. We're not going to do a damage test. We're just going to go straight in here because I need you to see what I'm talking about. So let's see if we can find... Here we go. We've got... I'm imagining this is probably a stone skin UDK. That's what we're specifically looking for. Because when you read this champion skill set, the first thing I think about is, oh baby, this dude is gonna counter stone skin. He's removing all buffs and it can't be blocked and it can't be resisted. This has to mean that he is gonna strip stone skin no matter what. Because again, it can't be blocked. When you read that text, it says very clearly, nothing can stop it. He is unstoppable. The only thing that I would think would come into play would be if a buff is protected, right? Well, wrong. You're going to see that shortly. Because, unfortunately, his A2 doesn't work the way that it says it would. In that, it actually does not always work on stone skin. So here's the A2. Let's read it again. Removes all buffs, then places decreased defense. These effects cannot be resisted or blocked. But in practice, this doesn't always work. Now, we might strip the stone skin here, but that's because stone skin has a 50% chance to be stripped. So we got it that time. Awesome. When you see that happen, he's awesome. He's a great champion. Oh man, I just deleted a UDK, right? When that works, this champion is great. But the problem is, it doesn't work all the time. It's not guaranteed. It's not an ability to strip that is unblockable or unresistible. And that one specific thing is what completely dooms this champion, in my opinion, to be as good as he should be. Because look, guys, when you're grinding this hard, and you can see his A1 hits super hard. Awesome A1, especially when there's no buffs. It's amazing. His A3 is just okay. Not super amazing damage. This is also not even a level 100 player, right? So let's see if we can find a level 100 player. But the problem is you work so hard for this champion. You have to grind super, super, super hard to get this guy. And the fact that his A2 doesn't always strip is insane. It is ridiculous. It is worded to sound like it is a guaranteed strip no matter what. But I was testing him out, and maybe it'll strip again here, because again, there's a 50% chance. But I was testing him out last night, and it did not strip. It didn't strip multiple times. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked, because when you read that, you think, oh, well, it has to strip, right? It says it's unblockable. It says it's unresistible. Let's find out. Does it strip this time? Okay, we got lucky again. It stripped it again. So we're getting lucky right now. And this is what would make the champion great. I'm just going to go ahead and back out. I need to get to a point where you see it not stripping. I need you to believe me and understand that I'm not making this up. Let's refresh. Any more UDKs in here? Because to me, this guy is meant to take on UDK. He is the UDK counter we have been waiting for, but it doesn't do it all the time. And that is a problem. And that is the number one thing that needs to be addressed. Let's see if it goes against the Mortu. There you go. Wait, hold on. Damn it. It's a UDK. I'm an idiot. Of course it's not going to strip there. Ignore that. Ignore that. I'm stupid. His UDK didn't even have stone skin. I need to find a stone skin UDK. Just hold tight with me, okay? Hold tight. We're not in the middle of plat reset, so we got to find someone. A UDK stone skin. All right, this guy, another level 94, is the guy we already beat, isn't it? Oh, come on. There's got to be a stone skin something in here. Stone skin, maybe Duchess. Stone skin, we can go with stone skin Marichka even. Let's do that. Stone skin Marichka. Maybe. Is this guy got a stone skin Marichka? Is it stone skin? No. Come on. This is supposed to be an effective showcase of what the major problem is with this champion. I need you to see that I'm not making this up, that I'm serious, that there is a huge problem with this champion, and that is that he doesn't do what he says he's going to do. He says he's going to strip every buff, unblockable, unresistible. Okay, well, if that's the truth, then why does it not always work? You know what I mean? Why? That's what I need to know. Is it going to work here? No, it didn't work. There you go. You saw it right there. He didn't strip the stone skin. Plarium, what are we doing? The whole point of why you grind for this champion is for that A2. And I'm sorry, the way that that is worded, it's so crystal clear that it's supposed to strip this. Stone skin should not be blocking this when it says it's unblockable and unresistible. And the thing about his skill kit is his A3 does not hit super hard. It is not a massively hard hitting A3 unless you have a ton of buffs, and then maybe it can hit a little bit harder. But it's not like a super nuke. The multipliers on it are only 3.8. So if you can't strip the UDK, if you can't get the UDK out of the picture, what's the point? That's the whole reason why this champion exists. That's why you want him. You want him to be able to make these unbelievably slow fights that we have in Platinum Arena now a lot faster. But he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. And it's a major, major oversight, and the number one reason why I am incredibly disappointed with this champion. I cannot tell you how excited I was to get him and how insanely bummed I was to find out that his supposedly unblockable, unresistible A2 is actually, in fact, quite blockable. What are we doing? I hope that this is a bug. I really hope that this wasn't the intention, because frankly, if you are doing live arena specifically hoping for this champion, don't bother. I'm just going to be honest with you. Don't bother, because he's not worth it. Now, I've seen Sato use him in Platinum Arena resets on a Turvold team. And again, his A1 does hit really hard. And that's really what they're doing there. Using the A1, getting decreased defense potentially on the Taurus, right? But to me, I wanted to use this champion specifically to counter UDK. Because UDK, even more in many cases than Taurus and Marichka, has slowed down Platinum Arena to an absolute crawl and has made it a much less enjoyable thing for me personally. So when I look at this guy's kit, I thought, this guy's the UDK killer. He's the dude. He comes in there, he's going to strip the Duchesses of Stone Skin. He's going to strip the UDKs. This dude is going to change the meta. But as it stands right now, I hate to say that he's just another decent nuker. You'd rather have Ragash than him. You'd rather have Leorius. You'd rather have Taurus. You'd rather have Georgid, have Rhodos, have basically every other top tier nuker way above him which to me is insane because of how incredibly difficult he is to get. Again, most of the people that play this game are not going to get this champion ever, or potentially won't get this champion for a year or 2 years. So for him to be anything other than absolutely awesome just doesn't cut it. So Plarium, if you're watching this video, please, for the love of God, change his A2 to actually strip Stone Skin. And again, he could get Polymorph doing that, right? This isn't a situation where that comes with no risk, where it's going to make him completely broken, because Polymorph is still a thing. We all know how I feel about Polymorph. Polymorph is still a thing. Polymorph is still overpowered, and therefore he is still very much at risk of getting sheeped. But the reality is, being able to tear that Stone Skin buff off of a UDK and potentially place decreased defense to knock him out in one hit, you know, it's completely worth it. Like, yeah, you have to wait for the reaction accessories to not be there, because that's really what made the UDK, or what's made the UDK meta so challenging, is everybody's got 3 reaction accessories on a UDK that's 110 speed. You know what I mean? Which just takes forever. But again, if you're able to strip that Stone Skin, you can get around some of this stuff. Well, unfortunately, he doesn't do what you think he's going to do. So that's my major problem with him. That's the issue. I'll take him, you know, just so you see, I'll take him in, not into a live arena is closed right now, but not into live arena. I'll take him to the dungeon just so you can see how his A3 hits, because it's not super powerful. Like, you're not looking at the A3 to do massive damage. And we can see here, where's my, I gotta put Dracomorph because my Lydia is too slow right now. But where is Dracomorph? Excuse me, I'm burping here. Where's Quintus? He's all the way back here. So many champions, guys. It's cracking problems. We go in here and we see it. Like, we'll take a look at his A3, right? So we buff him up. We're gonna slow it down. We hit him with the weaken, the decreased defense. This is unfortunate. It's relentless. Oh my God, really? Whatever. You can still get an idea here. So we're gonna take a look at the A3. He does buff himself. He does put crit damage up. But that's not like hitting ultra hard. 170, 200. That's kind of weak. Contrast that with a different nuker. Now, I don't really know if I have a baseline nuker built. Let me think about who I have that has like around 7K attack. What's my Constantine at? He's got way more crit damage. 311. Actually, no. He's got 7,600 attack and 311% crit damage. So this is a good comparison. And he's not even like a meta nuker. He's not even like a god tier meta nuker. Let's take him in and see how he does in comparison. And he's not putting a crit damage buff on himself. So actually, Quintus has more crit damage than he does. Let's take a look here. Boom. Drills everything. Kills them all. Kills them all with less crit damage and only about 300 or 400 more attack. Again, the whole reason to have Quintus is for that A2 stripping and placing an irresistible decreased defense debuff. And the fact that it doesn't do that, and with how weak his A3 is, it just makes him a major disappointment. So there you go. That's the showcase, guys. It's a bummer. It's a bummer to have this opinion, but also look at his ratings, by the way. I didn't even show you his ratings. Take a look. There's only like 20 people that have him so far. And I think I'm the first English-speaking person. I know Sato did a showcase on him a while ago, but I think I'm the first English-speaking person to do like an in-depth showcase on him. But take a look at the ratings. And keep in mind, the people that have him are all of the Krakens like me who live, breathe, sleep arena. We know good arena champions. Let's take a look at this guy's reviews. Holy smokes. 3 for arena offense, 2 for arena defense. Now, obviously, no one cares about any of this stuff. You want him specifically for arena. But come on, man. This is what you grind for months or potentially years to get? What a big disappointment. So that's it. Clarium, fix the A2. Make it so that it actually strips Stone Skin. And now we have a champion worth talking about. Because if it does that, I'm on the Quintus train all day, baby. I will jump on the Quintus train if it actually strips every buff in the game that isn't protected. And again, Stone Skin is not a protected buff. It just has a 50% chance of blocking a strip. Well, this says this skill can't be resisted or blocked. So fix it. Anyway, there you go. Sorry this isn't a more exciting video, but I got to call it like it is. And my hope is that enough people notice this and there's enough interest stoked in it that they make the right decision and changes A2 to accurately reflect the description that is in there. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you get your own Quintus, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm off base, but I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed. All right, catch you later. Big Papa Drock out.